Hi, my name is Ken Nelson. I'm with Panasonic's Ventilation Group. And I get a lot of questions about how to troubleshoot a WhisperGreen Select fan when it won't seem like it's going from high speed to low speed. So I want to take a couple of minutes and just go through a quick process on how we're going to do that. So the first thing obviously is we're going to pop this grill, and I'm going to look at two things. One of the deals with the ECM motors. The ECM motor senses that resistance in the duct and will actually speed the motor up to make the output whatever the desired output is, if you will. So in this case, the output is set at 30 CFM and it's set at 30 seconds. And I set that on the variable speed timer. But I need to remove all of the secondary triggers. So in this, I've got the condensation sensor as a secondary trigger, and I have a motion sensor as a secondary trigger. And if I had the wall switch hooked up, I would have that in the off position. So from there, this fan should shut down in 30 seconds if I set it at 0 CFM. And if it does that, then the fan works perfectly. Then our challenge becomes, where's the duct obstruction? So duct obstruction can come one of two places, or actually duct obstruction could be here in the duct adapter where the backdraft damper is, or they could have the control wires, the red transmit wires, could be wired together or somehow touching inside the J-box. So we're going to do a quick exploration, and it'll only take a second. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to pull the guts of the fan out. I unplugged the Molex connectors for the power supply. There's 3 screws on each of these WhisperGreen Select fans. And once these screws are removed, the gut assemblies will pop right out. So once I pull that out, I'll look inside the can, and the first thing I will note is whether this backdraft damper opens or closes. Oftentimes that'll be taped, so I want to make sure that's opening and closing. The second thing that I will do is I'll go into the J-box and unscrew it from the back of the fan, because you're not going to be able to get up into the ceiling every single time. I unscrew it from the back of the fan, and I can literally disassemble the J-box power supply, or I can review the J-box power supply. And in this case, I find the red wires are capped together, so it's in the high position the whole time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncap these. And I'll add another cap. And I can push these back into the J-box. I'll reclip this back in. Secure it with the screw. I can put the fan back in the slot. And without even screwing it down, I can test to see if the fan by plugging in the Molex connector to see if this has resolved my situation. And now the fan should trigger to the low position and run at 30 CFM. And this fan is working perfectly.